Well, okay, so the patient has had time to recover from its broken leg. So we'll kind of look and see what it looks like today. I don't know, it looks very good actually. There, and then there. I think it's holding good. Somebody asked me today on the comment sections of the YouTube video that I made yesterday with the model honeybee that's not a toy. They asked me where they can buy one. Well, you can get one pretty cheap that's only got a slightly damaged back wing or leg, so. Okay, so today is Friday, and I think I'll take this day to answer some questions that have been coming in through the YouTube channel and other means about honeybees. So let's enjoy some question and answer time together. And remember, you can always leave a comment at the bottom of these videos where I'll be happy to get back to you and answer some of your questions. Let's tackle some good ones. Okay, so our first question is, hello, do you use beekeeping scales? If you don't know what a beekeeping scale is, it's just a bathroom scale, something like that, a scale that you use to weigh fish. It's an arrangement of taking a weight scale and somehow measuring your hive's total weight with your beekeeping scale. Now, it gets complicated. Some people have made some fancy scales, digital. Some people have made some you put under the hive and you squeeze a handle and it measures out the weight and all. So to answer your question, no, I do not use beekeeping scales. To me, it's more simple to open up the hive and simply look inside and see how things are going rather than go to the trouble to make a beekeeping scale. But I guess if you have one hive, then it wouldn't be too much trouble. You can imagine if you had a lot of hives, it'd be difficult to do. Okay, next question from our YouTube comments is, where do you store empty frames to keep critters out of them? And I assume that Rex is asking frames like in a super, or maybe a hive that died out and you don't know where to put all your empty equipment. I recommend that you freeze it first. If you have a deep freeze, you can put your frames or the whole super or the whole deep box, frames and all, in a big chest freezer and freeze it for a couple of days. That kills all the wax moth eggs, small hive beetle eggs, and then at that point, you can kind of store it wherever you want to, as long as it's in a place where mice and new moths and critters won't get to it. So just use common sense and say, hey, where can I put this? So you might have a pretty tight garage that you could put it in, but don't make this mistake. Some beekeepers will extract their honey from their honey super, and then they'll simply put the what we call a wet super. It's been spun out, but it's still kind of wet, you know, the cells. And they'll just put that whole super in a black trash bag and seal it off really good and hope that it will be okay next year when they need it. No, it's not going to be okay. Oftentimes, the wax moth eggs are in there, and when you open that bag up, it will either be very moldy or destroyed by the wax moths. Beekeeper who doesn't like sticky fingers? You're in the wrong business. Laughing out loud. Well, that's true. That's a comment from one of my videos where I always wear those blue nitrile gloves. Nobody likes sticky fingers, so it doesn't matter what business you're in. Okay, I get used to it, and those of you that take a class with me, I like to work bees barehanded, and at the end of the day, my fingers are just stained with propolis and gooey. So you're right. I'm in the right business. It's okay to have sticky fingers. Next person says, very cool that you are also into guns. You know, I'm really not into guns per se. Let me explain. I got my first .22 single shot rifle when I was 12 years old for a birthday present from my dad, mom and dad. And I've hunted off and on as a kid. And but I'm not a guy that collects, you know, all these various kinds of models of guns. Some people are really into guns that way, and it's a very impressive collection once you start collecting guns. But I'm only in competitive shooting, and that's competitive with a pistol, semi-automatic, not revolvers. So I'm real specific on the kind of things that I do. I only compete USPSA. So I'm kind of a unique, I have a unique niche, I guess, in the whole gun thing. I don't hunt. I have hunted before, and I'm not saying I will never hunt again. I usually have a hunting license each year, and that's because we have coyotes around our property. And I think legally to kill a coyote, you have to have a hunting license, so I always get that to be legal. But I don't hunt. I'm not a deer hunter. All my friends are deer hunters and they love to go deer hunting. But the reason I'm not a deer hunter or a hunter in general is because there's a McDonald's, there's a pizza place, there's a Mexican restaurant, there's a grocery store, and we buy a side of beef, you know. So I guess if I was desperate, I would go out and maybe get a deer license and shoot a deer and put it in my freezer. But right now, deer tastes a little gamey for me. But hey, thanks. I am into guns, and sometimes I'll show you some shots of me shooting at different competitions, especially the ones where I win a trophy or something. Okay, David Wagner writes, David, I've been following your vlogs regularly and I do enjoy them. Congrats on your success in shooting competition. Know you'd rather be the first place team, but you're getting there. I'm obviously looking forward to the warmer weather when you will be doing much more with the bees. That is true. But you make the cold weather ones fun too. One kind suggestion for your vlogs, try to kill the music. Or at least fade it out when you start talking. For me, it's very difficult to hear you if the music is drowning out your voice. Keep up the great work. As with everything else, the more you make these videos, the better they will get. All right. Hey, let me tell you about the music, David. Believe it or not, I used to be involved in radio. I had a radio program on a radio station every morning, every Monday through Friday, like from 8:30 to 9. And I got pretty experienced in audio. And I'm like you, I don't like to hear voices drowning out, you know, by the audio. But I hear that a lot. Even today on radio, I've noticed that radio DJs now play the music really loud, you know, when the song is starting and they're saying, you know, well, don't forget the weather today, and the music is almost at its maximum level. It used to be in the old days that you'd have a clock on your computer of when the singer starts singing, and so you know how long you can talk and to raise the music up. So that's a good point, and I was just teasing by drowning myself out there. I did that on purpose, David, just so you know you could have fun with that. Good point. Kill the music while people are talking. I like that. So if you would like to ask the Master Beekeeper a question, I think I've got my certificate around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Master Beekeeper certificate. So if you would like to ask me a question about honeybees, well, I'll try to answer any question at all. Let me say this, I'll talk to you if you ask a question. I don't know if I'll answer the question, but I will talk to you, and I'll have something to say, but I may not answer your question. But feel free to comment on the comment section below for your beekeeping question or other things that you're interested in, and we'll do another mail time next time.